And once again, it's time for Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host for this segment. And today once again, we have Ed Kelly from Nye Communities Coalition.
Nye
Sorry, let's
Community
get it right.
Coalition.
And it's time again in February next month for another job fair. But before we get into that, I'd like to remind you of something tragedy that happened almost a couple of weeks ago. A good friend of mine, Kathy, up in Crystal at the Short Branch Saloon, there it is. That is, the darn place burnt down. It's someplace I've been going for over 20 years. There's a lot of fond memories up there. Kathy is okay. She will rebuild if she can come up with the funds. It was very underinsured. And there's a GoFundMe project that's out there right now. So if you go to GoFundMe, put down Kathy's Short Branch Saloon, you'll be able to find it real easy like I did. Originally, I think they're looking for 10 grand to start, but to rebuild that, it's going to take a lot more money. So we were there the weekend before for Kathy's birthday. She was fixing her famous meatloaf, and it was excellent. And there's so many memories, and there's so many more memories to be had. So let's hope that we can get it rebuilt again, because it's the only part that's left in the Crystal. But anyway, that's all that's left in Crystal.
Yeah.
So anyway, what we're really here for is with Ed Kelly, Nye Communities Coalition, quarterly hosts a job fair, and they've been doing this for a number of years. And tell us a little bit about this latest job fair, if you would.
So we've got it upcoming Thursday, February 3rd from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and again Friday morning, the 4th from 9 a.m. to noon. Job seekers can come and build their resumes with us in the resource room ahead of time and print resumes. We've got a clothing closet that they can come in, and if they need interview clothes to impress the employers while they're on site, they're welcome to choose through some proper attire to meet with the employers, and the employers will be have their job postings and will be interviewing and hiring on the spot. So
yeah, when I had worked, I've worked every place, but anyway, when I worked there, a lot of the donations they were clean and slightly used. A lot of stuff was brand new when it came in.
Brand new. Yeah.
You went from shoes to socks to belts to pants to coats to just about everything that you need for jobs or weddings or funerals, basically. But anyway, they have a very good ensemble over there. So if you need something, they have it. Just ask, okay?
Yeah, and the resource room is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They can come in, use our computers at no cost, printers, scanners, fax, telephone, prepare their resumes, and we have our workshops that help them build their resumes. We have our orientation on Wednesdays, so they can come to orientation on Wednesday and find out about our programs and how we can help them with all our resources, not only for job seeking, but we also have training opportunities that our funds through our grantor allows us to pay for trainings for individuals if they want to go to. They could be working already or just looking for higher education, or just wants a higher skill set.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. So how many employers do you think you might have?
So as of a little while ago, we've got 10 employers coming for Thursday evening and 15 employers coming on Friday. But the invitations are still out and open. If employers are interested, they can call the number on the screen right there, and they can reserve a table.
No, you're doing this a little bit different now too, on Thursday and Friday rather than.
We're just trying different things. With the last one we had done was we had done a Thursday evening and then a Saturday morning, and we've done some others where it was just Friday. We've tried just Saturday, so just given different options. This way in the evening, if people are working and looking for, maybe a better job, or they're only working part-time looking for a full-time job, they can come, after 5 o'clock and have an opportunity to meet with the employers and have that opportunity to find their job.
So this is at the NAC building, and where could that be? Where could that be found? I know where it's at.
It's 1020 East Wilson Road,
Yeah.
corner of Wilson and West right there. It's going to be in the big building. We call it the NAC. It's the Nye Activity Center. And
It would have come back to me any second.
yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to a good turnout and getting people the opportunity to find their next dream job. So
Sometimes you have the DAV there and other groups.
yeah, we have other groups. We have social services groups that come as well, so that people get that information about, our community partners and resources that they can take advantage of. And we're a small knit community, and we all work together to help people. So
I know I see jobs up at, it could be the racetrack, it could be Home Depot, it could be Smith's. Everybody's looking for people to come to work. It just, where are they? Hopefully you'll be there for them.
yeah, hopefully we'll get the job seekers to come out and apply. Right now, it's kind of a job seekers market. They can pretty much pick and choose the job they want to look at, because the employers have many openings, so they can kind of look and see, I haven't done that before, maybe I'm interested in that. Or and then, like I said, with our training opportunities, there's things that we can pay for. We have a list on our eligible training provider list, it's called, and it's everything from, I always say, accounting to zoology. And anything that's on our list that has gone through our funder, it's approved for us to pay for or assist paying for. And then we can help pay for other things as well that they need to be successful in their training.
So you're looking for jobs over there. I work at the library, and if I was at the library, could I look for jobs?
Yeah, we have our job boards over there at the library as well. And it's also, the jobs are all posted on employnv.gov. So job seekers, if there's someone even from out of state that wants to come and they're looking to move to Nye or Esmeralda County, they can look up on employnv.gov and search Nye County or Esmeralda County.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
put in
Okay.
the job and put in, job openings, and it'll pop up and populate for them, so that they can look at job descriptions and all that type of stuff in the area. So.
Okay, then. So anything else we should look at for the coalition? Are you looking for anybody over there?
So there is a few more positions with the coalition. I'm pretty much
I thought
full.
I saw that in the paper last week. You would look at the Pahrump Valley Times usually for that, or on your own
Or
site.
come to
Sorry.
our job, look at the job boards in the resource room,
Yes.
or
the library.
employnv.gov. But yeah, I'm full staffed in the resource room right now. But there is some other positions that are open with NICC. But yeah, and of course, throughout our community and Northern Nye, Esmeralda, all those areas. So.
And there you have different times during the year. You have AmeriCorps jobs that are available. Those are through grants, and you get a stipend for that. I sent it to your CEO, Stacy, the other day. There's AmeriCorps positions, 2 of them, that are open up in northern Nevada, near the Black Rock Desert, which is near Burning Man. My wife would never let me do that because I know I wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're very good positions at the AmeriCorps. I was one of those for, I forget, this 4 years is the maximum. So I was able to get money for schooling. Mm-hmm. And there's other a stipend that you get for that too. So there's things you could find, jobs you could find at the coalition also. And what are the other things you can do at the coalition? You have different classes for diabetes. I know Tamlin Taylor, she was here last week or 2 weeks ago. She's got a cooking and a health class.
Yep. So we've got all kinds of prevention and wellness. We have a whole department of prevention and wellness, along with the workforce division, and so there's all kinds of workshops. You can look at our nycc.org website and get the listing there, or you can come into the resource room. But we have prevention, chronic disease prevention, diabetes classes, cribs for kids, crib safety, child car seats.
I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, car seats that are under a grant, and so you can get those individuals car seats that they need, so that they're transporting their children safely. So
Yes, because they get outdated, they get old really quick, and
Yep.
you want your child to be safe, especially in Pahrump, 160 or 95, which is even
95,
worse. Yes.
yeah.
So if we're in the last couple of minutes here, do you want to speak about we'll leave talking about the job fair again?
Okay.
And it's going to be when?
It is going to be Thursday, February 3rd from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then again Friday, February 4th from 9 a.m. to noon. It's going to be in the NAC, which is the Nye Activity Center, 1020 East Wilson Road.
Behind the Walmart.
Behind the Walmart. Everybody knows, across from the school district.
Yes. And wear something presentable. Bring a resume if you haven't.
Yep.
And bring a friend too, if you can't drive.
And they can utilize the resource room ahead of time if they need to build their resume or, print their copies to take with them.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
And remember, I mentioned the Gofundme campaign for Kathy's Short Branch Saloon. Oh, that's so sad. At least I was there the weekend prior. Well, that's no big deal being there prior to it burning, but I have fond memories of the Short Branch, and hopefully the Short Branch will rise again.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes.
Historic place. So.
Yes, for Kathy's political views, if nothing else. She's a character. So anyway, thank you, Ed. Thank you, you people, for watching these people here, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. From us to you. And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host for this segment. And my guest today is Frank Bonesteel, who is the chair of the NSSAB, which is the Nevada Site-Specific Advisory Board. I know what that is because I was a previous member when it was called something else. It was a different acronym, but anyway. The NSSAB is looking for members right now, which is the Site-Specific Advisory Board. And let's identify what that is first so people know what we're talking about. I had a real nice flyer, but we can't get it up for you. So this is what it would have looked like with this den crater. But anyway, if you want to explain a little bit what the Site-Specific Advisory Board is.
Sure, John. Be glad to. The Nevada Site-Specific Advisory Board, and we'll shorten it to NSSAB, is a group of concerned citizens in this area. Nevada is one of 8 sites nationwide. There's one in Washington, obviously one in Nevada, one in New Mexico, one in Ohio, one in Kentucky, one in Tennessee, and one in South Carolina. So we're in good company as far as the sites in the United States. And as I mentioned, it's concerned citizens in the area, and so there is no confusion, and I'll tell you exactly why we exist. The NSSAB is comprised of volunteer members who represent Nevada stakeholders by reviewing and commenting on environmental restoration, an example of groundwater contamination or historic nuclear test area cleanups, and waste management. An example would be radioactive waste transportation and disposal. Activities at the National Security Site, formerly known as the Nevada Test Site, and everybody in the area, I think, knows what the Nevada Test Site is. The members bring a variety of perspectives to the board on issues of significant concern to the region, and rural interests environmental concerns, and local government viewpoints are discussed and considered by the board before making recommendations to the United States Department of Energy.
That's a mouthful. Plus, the people that are involved are people that live in the what's called the collar counties, which surround the Nevada test site, which is about the size of the state of Rhode Island, I believe we've said in the past.
It's pretty good size, John. Actually, the NNSS, the Nevada National Security Site, is approximately 1,360 square miles. And that's surrounded by about 4,500 square miles of adjacent federal land. And that doesn't include the Tonopah Test Range or the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is an additional 275 square miles. And all of that's only about 65 miles northwest of downtown Las Vegas.
Right. And the reason we've had the Nevada test site because we've had atomic testing at the site, and that would, let's see, 828 underground tests and 100 above ground tests.
Those sound like very, very good numbers, but I would defer to the website for the exact numbers. There were many, many. There's no question about that. And,
Yes.
and you started out with a great picture of the Sedan crater, which wasn't quite the normal testing. This was a special type of test. In any event, there were many.
It's a photo op. Usually when we would go on tours in the past, that's the place that would take us to one of the big, like the Big Bang, basically. But anyway, the Nevada test site has a lot of sites on it from the legacy of the atomic testing, and then you deal with a lot of that in the past with what you do also, because you oversee a lot of the buildings that have been decommissioned and taken away. There was you've got to remember the Bren Tower. That was almost as tall as the Empire State Building, and that had a reactor, unshielded reactor would go up and down to measure the effects of atomic bomb as it would be going off. So many things that happened atomic-wise over there. And then the people that are on these the groups, they oversee some of those things, the decommissioning of those things also with some of the groups that are involved. Low-level waste transportation, the UGNA project, which is hard to envision. What is the UGNA project?
Well, the underground, that's one of the scope items for our board. And just to step back 1 second, you did mention that the test site was available for tours at one time.
Yes.
You specifically said that. And those tours will be available soon. Unfortunately, because of current conditions, they're not available. But when they do become available, and if you're interested, they're a wonderful way to spend an afternoon, educational, historical. And usually the tickets, not really tickets, but the slots sell out quickly. Again, not for sale, but they do go quickly. So if you're interested, and if you hear that the test site is going to conduct tours, be sure to get on the list quickly, because sometimes there's a 2-year wait.
Yes. That
That said, back to underground, the scope of the board, and we have to remember that our board, the NSSAB, is an advisory body. We really don't oversee anything. It's not an oversight activity, it's just an advisory body. But the scope of the board concerns groundwater characterization. It does have to do with soil contamination, facility contamination. You mentioned facilities and things that were taken down. Also, low-level waste and transport, because there is location on the NNSS that accepts low-level waste, one of the few in the country. And also, we do environmental management. That's our part of the DOE, EM, and we do budget prioritization every year. So we do advise the department on what we think they should spend their money on.
So for a while, well, it was at the Nevada test site at the time was removing transuranic waste to the WIP project in New Mexico. When I was on the board myself, we oversaw some of those shipments, or most of those shipments leaving here, going to the Carlsbad New Mexico site too. So that's some of the things that we were looking at also, and advising people the best way to do it. So that was another thing that was on our plate back in the day. Yes.
Well, that's true. And just to reinforce the fact that we're concerned with environmental management, many times we get questions about Yucca Mountain and the high level of waste storage and repository. And our advisory board has absolutely nothing to do with high level waste, nor does it have anything to do with Yucca. But seeing that you did mention that transuranic was shipped out, that's something that a lot of people are concerned about, but we have nothing to do with that.
No. And the shipments went to Carlsbad. I was lucky enough to I took 2 tours down there, and I went down that little mine shaft, that little open cage. That was a real trip. So I was able to see where this transuranic waste will be stored for eternity, basically. So that was one of the perks being on the site-specific advisory board, as it's called now, being part of that group there to see that through. So,
and that's true. There are many occasions, especially in the past, where board members would travel to various sites to investigate various activities and report back to the board. The WIP, as you mentioned, in New Mexico is a prime example of a place that a lot of people are interested in because it's one of the few that you can visit and see where this waste is stored. And you mentioned the little cage going down in the ground. That's about a half mile down in the ground. So it's an interesting ride to see where the waste is stored.
yes. So let's get into the meat of the project, what we're here for. You're looking for new members, and it'll take a while to vet the members. So we're looking between now and the middle of this month. You're looking for members, or?
We are always looking for members. There's a target. We'd like to have at least 20 on the board, if at all possible. We have operated with less than that, and we've also operated with more. But having a well-rounded group of interested members from the community is our goal. So we conduct recruitment drives on occasion, and we would gather a list of individuals and would interview them. But as you mentioned, we're always interested in having people apply. So even if we're not in the middle of a recruiting drive, if we're outside of that, we encourage everyone who has any sort of interest at all to submit an application to the department, and we can get it in the pipeline so we can get you approved, maybe. Because once there is a triage, so to speak, where individuals are looked at, then there is an interview, usually in-person interview, although of late these interviews have been via Zoom. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. But the interview process then goes through another vetting locally, and then the successful applicants are forwarded to the national headquarters for further review. And the decision is made in Washington as to who is actually selected for membership on the board. So it's not like anybody can just walk in and say, I want to be on it, and everybody says, okay, you can be on it, stop in next month. There is a rather lengthy process, and not everyone, unfortunately, gets in when they want to get in. So if you're interested at all, time is of the essence. You need to apply now and get in the process and get approved so you can start attending meetings.
And if we didn't have it, we'll have the website on the site for you. Now look, folks, they approved me, so it can't be that stringent. Sorry about that.
Well, you say that.
They corrected it after they said okay to me.
And that is also true of me. They approved me as well. So if the two of us can get on the board, it's probably a pretty good shot.
You don't have to have any specialties, really. Just to be a concerned citizen, and just apply if you really want to do some good for your country, for your local, our valley here, to find out what the Nevada test site means to us. Because there's people that live here that don't know anything about the Nevada test site. And this is a good way for them to learn what is up there and not necessarily to be afraid of it.
Yeah, no one should be afraid of the national security side. And those are good points about being part of the activity. You can't learn anything unless you're really on the inside. So this is a good opportunity if you're interested at all. The board likes to have a well-rounded, a diverse group of individuals. So we like anyone from any area that surrounds the test site because diversity is good.
Okay. Out.